Hi guys. Today we're going to talk about getting sick or getting viruses, our immune system, and having a disease-free body. What does that mean? Well, we have this notion, this ridiculous notion that whenever we're not sick, such as in bed or whenever we don't have some kind of virus or disease in us, we are healthy. It doesn't work that way. We might not be that unhealthy, but if we can receive some kind of virus, some kind of infection, some kind of cold, any kind of disease, we are unhealthy. We're not supposed to have that. You have a diseased body. If you're susceptible to any of these things, you have a diseased body. It's as simple as that. If you have a disease-free body, that means that none of these things can live in your body. You do not have a body that is suitable for these things to live in, a suitable environment for them to breed in. It's like mosquitoes, right? They go and find a nice little puddle of water or a nice little swamp, and that's where they lay their eggs. And then their eggs breed and they multiply and all kinds of things. But they don't create that puddle or that swamp. They just find it and use it. It's the same with diseases. If you have a diseased body, it means that your body is like that puddle or a swamp. It's a perfect breeding ground for diseases and viruses. Now, a mosquito would never lay its eggs in a fast-flowing river because that wouldn't make any sense, because its eggs, as soon as it tried to lay an egg or breed in it, it would just get washed away and they'd be ripped to shreds. That's the kind of body you want. That's what I mean by a disease-free body. And you can have that. A very simple way is just to get oxygen in your body. If you have all the good bacteria, this is a secret, all the good bacteria and viruses and forms of diseases, all these things, they cannot live in an oxygen-rich environment. The problem is our cells are oxygen deficient all the time, almost. In most people at least. And that's why we get sick. That's what separates the disease people from the disease-free people, the people that never get sick no matter what. If you have an oxygen-rich body, and oxygenated cells, it's like being a waterfall. And there's no mosquito that would ever try to lay its eggs on a waterfall, because it can't. If it tries, they're just going to get ripped to pieces. It's not going to work. It's the same. If you have that kind of body, any disease, you can contract some kind of virus, it'll just die. It won't be able, first of all, they won't seek your body out to breed in, but if they do get in, they'll just die. They won't be able to breed, they won't be able to do anything, and your body will just flush them out instantly. And you could never get sick from that. Right? It's the same with a cancerous body or a non-cancerous body. A healthy body is what I would say. People think, they get like a tumor and they get it cut out at a hospital and think, oh, okay, I'm all better now. It doesn't work that way. You were able to develop that tumor, which means you have a cancerous body. You have cancer in your body. Just because it only showed up in that one spot doesn't mean that it's not everywhere else. It's in your body. You have a cancerous body. Otherwise, that tumor couldn't form. So just cutting the tumor off is not curing your body from being cancerous. And that's why it's likely that you'll develop some more cancer later or another tumor later. And this one could be fatal. So if you have something like that, start working at building this disease-free body, cancer-free body. Okay? One very simple thing is eating raw food. And I know I keep pushing this, but it's just the statistics are there. I've never heard of one case that that someone has gotten any negative effects from raw food diet, but I've heard so much positive effects. There's been so many, hundreds, thousands of cases where someone has some kind of fatal disease, such as cancer or diabetes or heart disease, all kinds of things, and they go on a completely raw food diet and all these things just disappear. Just like that. Now, I'm not going to say that a raw food diet can cure all these things because I'm not a licensed medical practitioner, so don't quote me on that, but I mean it does. You can do it. Not necessarily. Depends on what stage you're at. If it's already too late for your body to do anything, then it's difficult. But if you're at the early stage or medium stage, you can definitely do it. They've done so many cases where if your disease does not completely go away, it'll almost go away, or it'll get so much better just by going to raw food. Why? Because your raw food, I talked about oxygenation. Raw food oxygenates your cells. It has natural hydrogen peroxide in it, which is another little trick you can do. If you don't want to go raw food or anything like that, get food grade hydrogen peroxide. Okay, if it's 35%, you have to dilute that a lot because that is dangerous. But if you take hydrogen peroxide, for instance, and just take a few drops in a glass of water, say 3 drops in a cup of water, and you drink that, you'll automatically flush your body with oxygen. Why? Because it's H2O2. It's like water, but with an extra oxygen. So what is that? Your body uses it like water, and then it uses that extra oxygen and just pushes it into your cells. It's like, what are we going to do with this? Oh, give it to the cells. You give it to your cells, and you have amazing cells that are oxygenated, and that means that viruses and bacteria, bad bacteria, that is, good bacteria thrives on this, bad bacteria will not be able to survive. It'll just die. And you can use this. They've been using this for 70 years, and there's been hundreds and hundreds of cases where this has cured fatal cancer instantly. I mean, you'd have to take a higher dosage from that, but within a few weeks, people that have supposedly supposed to die, their doctors are giving them 1 month or 3 weeks, they've been completely cured. Now again, don't quote me on that because I'm not allowed to say that hydrogen peroxide is a cure for anything. So I didn't say that if you're some kind of legal person. Anyway, that's just one little trick. It's not the most natural way, but it is a natural substance. And it is found in raw food, and that's one of the reasons, one of the many, many reasons why raw food diet is the best diet in the world. Because if you don't want to take it that way, an easy way is to just eat raw food, and you're getting that hydrogen peroxide, you're getting that flood of oxygen throughout your body, and you're just feeling great all the time. And you won't get diseases, and you'll be healthy. You'll have a disease-free body. You no longer have to worry about contracting HIV or some kind of pandemic they have like swine flu and all this nonsense. You won't get any of that. It'll just die instantly if it does go into your body. But it'll avoid your body. Okay? Just thought I'd throw that out there. Have a great day, guys. See you soon.